Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Be in Her Kitchen. Today, I had promised you guys that you were going to get some spicy eggs. And so today, this is a quick dish for in the morning. You can make it along with toast, avocado toast if you want. You can just have the eggs with some turkey bacon, but these are really good ingredients. So today, we're going to get started. I'm not going to hold you guys up. So right now, we have our pan going right here. And so what we're going to do is put some of our avocado oil, because you guys know I love avocado oil. So we're going to put our avocado oil in the pan, not too much. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start stir frying our vegetables. And again, medley. Remember, I told you guys, you always want your food to have color. Don't serve your family anything that doesn't have color. But what we're going to do with some of these is we're going to chop them up. We're not going to leave them julienne. We're going to chop them up really good while our pan heats up. And you want to have all different colors when you're making your food. You want to make your food colorful and healthy for your family. And bell peppers are very good for the digestive tract and also good for your family to eat. They're good vitamins for your family. So we're going to chop these up. We dropped one, but we'll leave that there. We're going to get another red one because I think we need a little bit more red in here. And let's do one more red, guys. What do you think about that? Let's do one more red pepper. Okay, so we're going to take all the bell peppers and we're going to put it into our avocado oil. And I didn't use my grill today because the grill was taking a little bit too long. So I decided to use one of our other gadgets that we have. And we're going to cut up our onion. And you only need half an onion if you're making eggs just for two people. And since I'm just making this for my husband and myself, you only need a half an onion. We're going to turn this down a little bit because we don't want it to cook too quick. Yeah, we're going to turn it down a little bit. Okay, I think that's way enough onions. So we're going to put that in the pan. And the reason why we do this is because there's nothing worse than eating an egg and having your vegetables a little too hard. You know, you really don't want your vegetables too hard. So you want to kind of stir fry these in. See how that beautiful color is on there? Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. And so you're going to give that a few minutes. And while we wait for that, we're going to go ahead and you guys know my favorite, tomatoes. So we're going to get our tomatoes ready. And we're going to cut out tomatoes. And remember, you want juicy, ripe tomatoes. These also are vineyard tomatoes. You see how sweet they are? It's a big difference when you get the right type of tomatoes. So we're going to cut these tomatoes up and we're going to get these ready while veggies continue to cook there. They're looking really good. Let's make sure they're all submerged in the oil, in the avocado oil. And again, this knife is awesome. I told you guys about this knife that my husband had purchased for me. And this is a great knife. It's very sharp, so you have to be careful, but it's really good. At the end of the program, I will definitely tell you about the knife. I have some good news, guys. One of our viewers, Lena Carlton, she actually referred us to someone to get our outdoor patio done. So we're so blessed that they're going to come and they're going to start getting our outdoor patio done so that my husband doesn't have to work and then work again twice. He loves doing it, but sometimes we have to be wiser. When we love someone, we have to try to make it a little bit easier on them because we want to keep them around. We don't want to be in jeopardizing their health or anything of that nature. So that's what we're going to do. So we stir fry this. You see how good that looks? Look at that. Very good. That looks good, right, guys? So now what we're going to do is we're going to empty our tomatoes into our pan. So we're going to put that in there. And you guys notice that I put one huge tomato. One huge tomato. Now we love tomatoes, my husband and I. So we have that in there. So we're going to let that cook down a little bit. And I'm going to ask my my photographer if you could go and get me the little top that goes to this, the glass top that goes to that. And while we wait for him to get the top, I'm going to go ahead. This morning, I pulled some fresh parsley from my garden. Look how great that looks, guys. So I'm going to chop this up because that's also going to go in there with our spicy eggs. And also spicy eggs, people in Africa make them, but you also have people in other parts of the world that make them a little bit different. But they're delicious. I mean, that's how I learned it. It's really delicious. Sometimes when you go over to other countries, you learn so many different things that you can use. So yeah. So my photographer is getting my lid, and we're going to chop this up really good and really fine. And you look at that. Now, a lot of people take their parsley at the end and put it on there, but I cook my parsley within my food because it's better that way. So we're going to turn this up and let it cook. Thank you so much. And so we got this ready. And so my photographer got that for me. I appreciate it. And so we're going to take the parsley. Let's make sure this is up as high as it can go. You know, sometimes on these nozzles, it's hard to see. Here we go. All right. There it is. There it is. I was waiting to see if it was going to get hot for me. So then once we put this in, again, we have tomato paste. And remember what I told you guys the other week. Tomato paste has to be cooked because it's very raw and it can give you a very bad taste to it. So you want to make sure you take your tomato paste and you want to dap it in there. We're only using a little bit because this is for eggs. So we don't want to overdo it, but we need it for the flavor. So we're going to put that in there. We're going to scrape this off and make sure we get as much of that tomato paste in there as we possibly can. Very good, very good, very good. All right. So we're going to do that. And now we're just going to mix that tomato paste within the vegetables. And we got some trying to escape over here. Sorry about that, guys. I dropped the lid. So my photographer going to have to rinse that again. I'm giving him more work than he bargained for today. But it happens, especially when you're doing a show and it's live. It's going to happen like that. It's okay. Just keep going. All right. Look at that. Look how good that looks. Isn't that delicious? Doesn't that look good? That is good. So now we're going to let that fry up a little bit. Thank you so much. And sorry about that. And we're going to put the lid on it and let it cook for a few minutes. And then we're going to move this stuff out the way so we can get to our next part of what we need to do. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our eggs ready. So, and let's put the parsley in here. We don't have to wait for that. So let's do that. Let's get our parsley in here. Look how beautiful that is. From my garden. And my tomatoes will be next because my tomatoes are almost, I have a few that I'll be able to use soon. And so I'll be able to use those. And I also have thyme and I have mint. And so all of these things we're growing in our garden. And so I'll be able to use those, which I'm very excited about. So we're going to let that cook down. And we're going to put a lid on that. And we're going to let that cook for a few minutes. And while we do that, we're going to prepare our spicy eggs. So that's one thing. We'll put the seasonings in there later because they're going to be really spicy. We can do this though. We can drop a little bit of our red peppers because we're not going to use habanero. So we're going to drop a little bit of our red peppers because that's what's going to bring about the spiciness of the eggs. So there we go. We're going to fry those really well. All right. So let's do our eggs. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tap that, take that, and we're going to put our eggs. There we go. And, you know, I don't have anything hard here. So besides my head. There we go. So that's 3. We're using 3 eggs because it's only for 2 people. So these spicy eggs are just for my husband and myself. But if you had more people and, you know, you need to do something different, then you can, you can govern yourself accordingly. You can use 6 eggs. You can use 4 eggs. You can use how many ever eggs for you and your family. And it would be for you and your family. And it would be in a bigger pan. You would cook it in a bigger pan. And so now I got a piece of tomato in there. It's not going to hurt it. So we're going to put a little bit of milk in there. Not much, just a little bit. And we're going to scramble that up. Again, you don't season your eggs because we're going to have enough seasoning that we're going to use to do the eggs. So you don't need to season any of that. So we're going to do this. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. Now you're going to put your seasonings. So now we're going to put a little touch of onion powder. We're going to we already put our red pepper flakes, and we're going to put a little bit of black pepper. Now, if we had fresh peppers, we would do that. We would use the spicy peppers. We're going to use a little bit of turmeric because turmeric is really good for you. So we're going to just put a little dash of that in. We're going to use our little bit of cumin and put that in there. And as soon as you put the cumin in, you can smell a whole different aroma when you put cumin into your food. We're going to put a little bit of sodium, not too much. And we're going to stir that in. Now, what we have to do is put a touch of avocado oil because we're getting ready to incorporate our eggs, our scrambled eggs. So you're going to put a little, just a touch. There we go. We're going to put that in there. We're going to leave the tomatoes like they are, and the bell peppers and the onions and all the spices. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take your eggs and you're going to pour your eggs into your tomato mixture. You're not going to do anything with those eggs, but put the lid on it, and you're going to wait approximately 20 minutes. So we're going to take a break and clean up some of the mess, and when we come back, you'll get to see the finished product of our eggs. Okay, guys, we're back, and our eggs, look at how beautiful our spicy eggs look. Isn't that delicious? They're spicy, they're good for you, no bacon or anything like that, and this is all you need. And you can have some tortilla wraps or whatever you choose to have. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off, and then we're going to spoon some of these out so you guys get a chance. And we're going to put some of our dry parsley on top. This is how they look. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? Our spicy African eggs, and with an American twist on it. And here's some of the dry parsley that we had the other day. And so we sprinkle some of that on there. You can see our parsley. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to try it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take one of the tortillas and I'm going to open it up and I'm going to put a piece of our spicy egg in there. And this is how I'm going to eat it. And then you just turn that over like that. And here we go. Oh my goodness. That is so good. I tell you guys, spicy eggs. Hold on a minute. But once you have tried these eggs, What'll happen is you won't want scrambled eggs the regular way anymore. But these are really good. They're healthy for your family. You got all your vegetables in there. You got all your melon, your colors in there. Gives you strength for the day. Get you a tortilla that doesn't have the gluten in it, and just enjoy. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you for joining in Bee and her kitchen.